Hello everybody. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here today. The sky's blue again. We've had a terrible dust storm over the last couple of days, so it's really nice and fresh out there today. I was just taking some time to sew my signatures onto a spine. This is going to be a hollow spine journal, and I've just used, that's a piece of a file folder. Can you see that's the fold over of the file folder? And there it is there. That's what I've used to make my spine. It's 4 signatures, and I'm doing a 5-hole pamphlet stitch for this particular journal. All my markings are inside. I have just glued a piece of fabric over the top of the file folder there, and then stitched with zigzag stitch some scraps of lace on top of that. I used a guide to get all my holes correct. I've used this guide on a lot of different journals. You can just do a 3-hole stitch if you like. The bigger the journal, the more pages I prefer to do, the more holes I like to do. So I've marked the top, so I know that's the top of my spine, and I can make sure my signatures are going in the right way round. I've already punched all the holes. I've already punched the holes into my signatures. I'm not going to go into my measurements, because every journal you make, you can use any measurement you like. It's up to you how you do it. Okay, this one suits this size that I'm making now. May not suit another size. Okay, I'm going to be using a doll's needle. You can use a proper journal needle if you like. I just happen to have a doll's needle in this pink cushion. I'm using some linen thread. This is Gutermann thread. I'm just taking an arm's length of thread, which is more than enough, but it gives me some leftovers. You can buy waxed thread, or you can make your own. This is, like I said, linen thread, and all I'm doing is I've got this little thing of wax, and I'm pulling my thread through that, and that will put wax on my thread, which will stop it from tangling, and it will also help secure the knot at the end, because the wax will kind of melt together a little bit over the knot, and it also helps strengthen the thread a bit. Okay, so if you wanted decorative threads, you would start from the inside of your journal if you wanted them there. This particular journal, I'm having pockets in each centerpiece, so I'm going to start mine on the inside of the spine where they will not be seen. I'm not a journal maker like a lot of ladies are. I do make journals, but it's in between everything else. It's just I'm a crafter, and I like to do a bit of everything. So this is how I do it, and it may not be as professional as what other people do, but it's just the way I do it. So through my spine piece, I'm finding my hole on my signature, which is a little bit tricky because it's it's decorated paper, which is really a bit hard to see where it is, but I've done it. Yay. Pull it through, leave a little tail here so you've got something to hold on to and you don't pull it all the way through. I think I just threw my little piece out, so I don't think there was any particular right and wrong way of how that went in. So I'll just pull that through there. I have got my signatures just clipped together to keep them in place. Oh, hang on, my battery says it's running down. There we go, sorry, it had come unplugged a little bit. Okay, so we've come through the center. Now you can go either way. It doesn't really matter. So I do find it easier if you angle your signature like that, and it usually comes straight through. See, there's my needle come through there. And then take it through the hole on the spine. Now I've only got 1 row of holes left on this, but always double check that you're in the correct line of holes, because it's easy to come out the wrong hole. So always double check as you're going along. It only takes a second. So I've come out there, pulling that. My thread's here for that center one. Now I'm going to the last hole here. I'm going to take it through and then angle my signature again. Find that hole and go through the hole. And that brings me out in the center. Give it a little tug. Don't have to tighten it too much just yet. A little bit of movement can be good. Take it back through this hole. You've come out here at the top. We're going back through the hole we went through before. So we're coming back in that hole there. Angle your doesn't want to do it. Oh, there we go. Angle your signature. Find that hole on the spine and go through that again. Double check on this side before you push it all the way through. A little tug. Turn it around again. Now we're going back in the center one where we first started. Okay, we're going to go back in there. Find our hole. The more, I'm going to take that clip off there now, because the more stitches you get in, the tighter the area you have for maneuvering things, and that's okay. These things, like I said, can be a little bit tricky, but it's just a matter of going through and finding where it might have been stuck. And it's in between here. See, we've come out, but we've missed the hole there. See, so we're going to find that hole and then find that hole there. And there we go. We're back in on track. A little bit of a tug for that middle one. And then we're going to come back down the opposite way. So that's the center hole we've come back through, and now we're going down the opposite way in the other direction. So find that on an angle, come straight through and double check, although it's not, you can still make mistakes, so double check. Okay, so we come out here. That's our center one. I'm going to go back through the last one here. That's got a bit of fabric on that one, so it moved a bit, but that's okay. There we go. That's the last one there. Pin that up. We're going to go back through the second one here. Line that up. Line that up, and then get it through that last hole there. I hope you're seeing this. Okay, and we've come through all those holes now, and this is our center piece here, right? So now that that's done, I'm just going to, there's my thread, there's my center thread there. I'm just going to loop it through the thread there. And first of all, just check that your threads are nice and tight. Don't pull too hard. You don't want to be snapping your threads. Okay, so just tighten them up so they're not loose. And then you can start knotting them together here. Gently. Gently. You don't want to be breaking your threads at this stage. So just however you like to do your knots, you do them now. Just do 2 or 3. and because it's a waxed thread, they won't come undone. Okay, trim them off. I'm trimming them short because they're not going to be decorative in any way. Keep your threads. These threads are great for threading in buttons and things like that. You don't, but that's what I keep those through. So there's the signatures. Take the little clip off. There's the signatures there, all sewn in, ready for a cover. I've left that open there so I can slot a decorative piece of paper in there to attach to my front cover, and the same on that side. There, see? I will just use some strong glue or the zigzag. You can kind of see that between the signatures, so it's nice and decorative. Everything appears to be sitting well. I did want to just, before I glue these pockets together, I did just want to put a little cut on there. Just, it makes it a bit easier to get into when you've got a little thing there, and that will have a tag going in there as well. So I hope that was helpful to you. Maybe when I make a cover for this, I will also do a tutorial on attaching it to the cover itself. But there we go. They're all, we're getting there. We're getting there. And I really like the way this looks. I haven't looked at it for a little while, and when I came back and started looking through it, I thought, oh, this is a nice journal. I might make this my garden journal, because I've been working in the garden more. There's plenty of room in here to write, plenty of little pockets if I want to put, you know, the little information cards from the plants that I'm planting. So I don't think I did. I added a couple of book pages, I think, and that's all I've done in here since you last saw it. What did I like? Okay, so there's a book page, and I think these come, yeah, they all come out of like nature books. And I also added, if I can find one, I did add it. Oh, okay, some mathematics table pages as well. I just thought they looked nice and interesting, and I love the colour of it. And it's, you know, you can just add a picture there if you want and do some writing underneath. And I've just added that with some washi tape. So there we go. That's the start of my hollow spine. Of course, that means when you attach this to the actual cover, you do not glue this part here to the cover. This is free. It holds itself. You glue this part here and you glue this part here to your cover, but not this part in here. Okay, and that's what will help it to lie nice and flat to be able to write in, which is what I love. I mean, there's quite a lot of pages in here, but it's still, you know, you can write in it. Although I might make a book plate. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I mean, a resting plate. We'll see how it is when I've done it. Also, you can put a bit of lace up here. You could also, for extra strength, glue fabric down that spine there to cover those stitches and secure them, or even just glue the whole thing. I think I might put a bit of some more of this cotton fabric down there just to strengthen it. Maybe leave it hanging over a bit at the edges to make it look nice and shabby. But already this is feeling wonderful. Really, really nice. There's plenty of room in there for those signatures. Like that. And if you're curious, the spine is 5.5 centimeters, which is about 2¼ inches. And then I've left these little bits at the end past that will attach to my cover. So there we go. That's how I sew my signatures to the spine. And then that way you don't have to sew it to the cover, and it will open nicely. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.